Welcome to Preferred Joinery, something like that, innit? Joiners on a what? Mom Richard, do you want to do it with me? Welcome to Preferred Joinery. Go up the wall here. What was I going to say? I'm going to say welcome to Preferred Joinery. That one more, I'll do it again. Welcome to Preferred Joinery. Join us, I can't say joiners. Join us today on a tour of our factory. I'll do one. So at the beginning of the factory, we have all the timber coming in through that door there, and it gets stacked on these racking. So it either comes in rough sawn, which is like this here, which is in hardwood sapele, or it comes in already machined for us from our supplier, depending on what the job is and what we're doing. If we're doing a lot of sash windows, it'll come in already profile for us, makes it a lot easier for us than pushing it through the machines behind you. But if we're doing doors, anything bespoke, we'll do it ourselves on the rough sawn timber. All of this here is all the laminated timber for staircases. Again, that's all done for us, comes in laminated, ready to be cut down, which you see us do with Richard. Once the timber comes in and it's all been chosen, what's getting used in terms of length, it gets put on Mike's trusty bench if it fits on.
Cartwheel.
Or it gets carted over and put on here and measured and put through the cross cutter. So the cross cutter is what it is, isn't it?
Cuts it, yeah, cross cuts it.
Cross cuts it, so it's not the more modern ones that you see today, which has got the laser marks on, or you can set it and it slides for you. It's literally, you know, you've got to measure yourself with a piece of tape. How long's that been here for now?
10 years.
10 years. So
it's not the original, no.
So it's had money, it's been money well spent though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it earns its money. Yes, you have to be able to, when you buy it, you've got to be able to do that.
And go back. Yeah, so you'll see there on this one. So this is, what is it, a Maggie Junior. So you'll see there, it's got the arm where it pulls it back in on a catenary wire for the safety aspect. So
the old ones would just have stayed.
Nice trusty cross cutter, and then from here, or another machine that we use, which is our rip saw. So we've got the trusty old school Wilson rip saw. Now this is older than me, innit?
About my age.
Yeah. So this has been here since day
51.
Yeah, 51. Has this been a day one machine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Started off with that.
You started off with it, so it's still here?
Well, it was actually 2 in 1.
Was it? So what did it used to do?
That.
So it was a thickness planer.
So we put it, separated it.
Why did that stop working?
That one broke. Yeah, it broke in the end.
So the only thing that gets changed on here now is the blade. Other than that, like, it's all still rigged up to our ventilation system, but still works, doesn't it? Still does what you need it to do.
Yeah, could do the new one, but it'll do for now.
Yeah, it's hard. So with this one, we actually did look at getting a new one, and it's the actual thickness that it cuts, the width, isn't it? Because remember we looked, and I think that's is that a 550 blade, is it?
Something like that, yeah.
Whereas most of them now, when you try and buy, they're a little bit smaller than that. So we did look at trying to get one with a bigger bed to slide the pieces through, which you can get, but the blade's smaller, not as big. So yeah, so just moving over on to planer thicknesser.
Planer thicknesser, yeah, that's it.
Which is our Sedgwick, again, another trusty make within the joinery industry. And on the top is is it plain? You're plain for the top, you do?
So we go under there to thickness when that's on. So that's to go under.
And then that'll extract all the... And then on the top then, if you have to take it off?
Yeah, we take that off.
You would just slide the pieces of timber over the top of it. And again, another good... The only thing that gets changed on here is the blade, isn't it?
Yeah, the blades there, yeah, 4 of them.
So one thing you have to watch out for is any nails and stuff like that, or anything else.
There's a chip in it now, waiting for them to come back. Yeah. It's got 2 sets, so we'll swap them.
What you get is, when the sashes have been made and you go down to go in the boxes, sometimes they need to be eased, don't they? And when they slide them across, if one of the nail heads is there or something like that, yeah, you can do the blading. Once it's gone through them machines, this is what it looks like once it's been cut down and put through the planer thicknesser. So then going into the spindle, yeah, which is a Genesis one. So we used to have a bandsaw that was a Genesis, and we ended up swapping that for a new one. But on here, so this is a spindle machine, spindle moulder, again to put the profiles into the doors or the rebate. So what happens is you always use a rough piece of timber, an offcut, to get your depth set right rather than putting your nice fresh piece in. So you set your spindle and then you just start pushing through then, and then checking, which is what they've been doing for this piece now to be done, because the blades are catching there they swap them for new ones. Well, obviously you're doing a door here now, aren't you, pushing that through, but you can put anything through here, can't you? Obviously we buy all the stuff in, don't we, if we're doing a big job, or the profile for us.
Yeah, so this will do all the rebates. If you want an ovalo profile, it'll put the ovalo. It does the
Draft stripping.
It does the nosing for your threads.
For your stairs.
Stairs.
So that there is, what do you call them, bits that are going in? What is the name of them? That go in the spindle.
Well, cutters.
So that cutter there is for...
a block.
Yeah, bullnose steps that you see on staircases. That's a perfect size for it, isn't it?
That's it, yeah, that's it, 32mm. Yeah, it can go probably a tad wider. So it does that, that's a smaller rebate block. So if we only want a small rebate, rather than put the big fella in, we'll put this one in.
Yeah.
That does your stormproof sashes.
Stormproof sash, yeah.
Storms them for your casements. That makes the fancy collection mould.
Collection mould, which goes on doors.
Yeah, round the doors, yeah. This little fella does your ovlos.
Ovalo, yeah.
We want to profile it.
So ovalo, which is going to be on the other side where the window pushes in the glass.
That's a 12mm groove. Uses that for the threads to put your risers in. So
yeah.
That'll nose it, and then that'll put the groove in. Draft strip.
Yeah. And again, it's just a case of switching it on the spindle, isn't it? And then pushing it through.
Yeah, angles as well. So the shaft.
Yeah, so you'll tilt them.
No, this angles.
Ah, okay.
The shaft. So if you want to put a bevel on like that, yeah, see the.
Yeah.
You just angle the shaft, and then it'll do that.
Push it through. But how long's this one been here for? Has this been the first ever one?
What would you say, Dev? No.
How long's this machine been here for?
Say about 8 years.
So the mortises then, what's the difference between the two mortise machines?
Yeah, they're both identical, it's just we have different size bits in.
Smaller bit in that one?
Yeah, so that's got the 1/2 one in there. And that one's got the 18mm 3/4.
Yeah, so rather than swapping them out all the time.
This is the better one anyway.
A Wadkin, so would you not call it the name of this? Bears Green? No? It's a Wadkin Morticer, isn't it?
Wadkin to me.
So yeah, so all of these, when you see, because I've looked at what you would pay to buy these now and what you sort of get, you can't get them brand new, can you? They're all refurbed, aren't they?
I'm not sure, to be honest. We just go and normally just get a refurbed one.
Most of them that you see getting sold online look very, very similar to this, which has been repainted and refurbished.
You can get a chain one, but we've always just got...
So that's not a chain, is it? That's, I'm sure, it's a vibrating head.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which makes it easier, which is why it's better than that one. So when I was looking at getting new ones and see you have to replace them or whatever, when I was speaking to a few people who've refurbed these and sell them, they said this is the Rolls Royce of mortise machines.
Okay.
So the traditional mortise, obviously you can get CNCs and do whatever you want to do, but the traditional wood making machine, this is a Rolls Royce of them.
Yeah, Wadkin's a good mate.
But that actual one as well, that actual one.
Okay.
Which is much better. And then on the other one then, so this one being a little smaller one, a Dominion Morticer, again a lot smaller with a smaller bit on, but could still do the same size cut as that, couldn't it? It just struggles a bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can put it inch in 25mm, yeah. You just change the collar.
Just struggles a little bit more.
That one's just better.
Yeah, that is a better machine, but both get used, don't they, all the time?
Yeah.
And then the tenon machines, this one, multi-coat tenoner, that's only doing for smaller tenons though, isn't it?
Yeah. Put the sashes through there.
So which is like the more like your sort of glazing bars?
And sash, yeah, your sash work. What he's on now, the likes of them, they would go through there. Because that's curved, it's not.
And why is that? So that can't handle doing a bigger one?
No, not powerful enough now.
So doing the smaller joints?
Won't go high enough neither, see. You only go up to there, as high as that lifts. It's the thickness of the wood you can put in.
So, and then this one being the main tenon then?
Yeah.
Which is
these ones will go through there.
A Sedgwick tenon machine, which you've seen us use multiple times. And again, it's the same process though, isn't it?
So we've got a bed there, up there, and then that can go all the way up to there. Take that off, you can put a smaller bed.
Yeah.
I think we get up to 6 inch.
Yeah. So it's the same process then, and if for the size, what you need to change that first, depending on your profile, what you're doing. Set it with the blades.
Yeah, well it only does now. So the first two do your square cut, and there's the profile there. That puts the ovalo on.
Which is the back end there, isn't it?
The opposite of your ovalo.
So yeah, so the machine I've just seen a few times with Devo pushing through that makes then the tenon. So then a mortise and tenon is, a morticer is forming a hole, and a tenon is forming a tongue, which forms the joint to make any sort of joint in terms of what we make, whether it be windows, doors, door frames. So this is the Wadkin spindle curve moulder, is it?
Well, yeah, it obviously that spindle hasn't got the same capabilities as this. Obviously, this is a bit more old school. This has got to be 40 years old at least.
Older than me, then, yeah.
It's got it, yeah, older than you, yeah.
Same age as you then?
Not as old as soft ass there, but older.
Same age as you then?
No, mate, no. If it was the same age as me, that's get Indiana Jones. Fucking have a look at it. But yeah, that's got to be a 40-odd-year-old spindle.
So what's your favourite machine in here?
My favourite machine.
Because this is your.
This is my thing. Oh yeah, well everything.
This is your kingdom, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and I don't like people coming up here unannounced as well. Used to, not included. I don't know, favourite machine. I do like the way I can do all this stuff on here. I must admit, you know,
It's a bit freestyle, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, these are very unusual. These we very, very rarely do bows. I mean, we do plenty of arches, and I do a lot of arch work on there. But a bow, these are very.
So you've had to profile the whole thing on there then?
Everything,
All of this as well,
everything, yeah, and I couldn't do it without it. So I suppose, as regards to something that's reliable, apart from when I split that time, it's it's safe as ours.
Because that's the only thing that's ever happened on here. The ring itself snapped, didn't it?
Yeah,
you had to get it re-welded.
Cut the cutter. I had to basically really get that cutter on top of there, you know, as close as I could without hitting it. And it was missing it. As soon as I switched it on, caught it. So. Oh, well. I did run for the hills like when it hit. Sparks everywhere, you know, and then you go, what the f*** hell, me spindle?
So then on the bandsaw, what's the bandsaw used for?
Well, that's basically just for cutting things very quickly, like, you know. I mean, for instance, I need to do these tenons on the bandsaw. I couldn't do that without that either, especially this.
And then out of the mortise machines, what's your favourite one?
The Morticer, probably the far one, I'd say. Even though that's a newer one, yeah. But like I say, I've done 1,000 sashes on that one, so. And that's quite reliable as well. We've still got all the old cutters for it and the chisels, so it works quite well. That's the newbie, so you know it's a very good machine. But like I say, you know,
it's the Rolls Royce of them now.
It really is. So, and then you got your universal, the planer, and the rip saw.
What do you use the most out of all the machines then? The spindle.
If I use the most, I'll probably use is probably the saw if I'm cutting stuff out. Okay. Because you know, obviously, a job before you do anything, it's got to be cut out. So. Everything gets cut on there, and then if they need to be tucked to a specific size, I'll rip them down, then I'll throw them under the planer. Like for instance, these are 55mm by 55mm, so it's basically just a matter of running a 55 under both sides. Then you've got your size then, and that's your that's my test piece I've been using.
If you had a wish list, what machine extra would you get in here?
If I had a wish list and I could get a machine, something I could knock out a really fit. No, never mind.
This section now is the assembly side, which we've got Danny's bench and Max's bench. Down here is once it's all been done by Devo and Mike up there on the machining side. They'll knock it all up dry, bring it down here, and then these will put it together. From this point on, and everything needs to be made sure it's right in terms of measurements. That's why Devo's just come down then to double check something, because from here it then goes over to Craig's bench, and then on Craig's bench it's getting finished off, ready to either be painted or delivered to site. On here you'll see Craig now just going through, sanding off an oak door which has been made. These two doors that are sitting here, they're for a customer who's having them for an internal, and I think they're for a wardrobe, as we've been told. But off the side of them doors, how thick they are for an internal door, frames behind. But yeah, so on this bench, as I say, Craig does all the final finishing of everything. Danny and Max knocked these doors up, brought them down to Craig, and then now Craig's working through it, getting all the last little bits of touches done on it, sanding it all down so it looks good and ready to go out to site. But as I say, anything bespoke in terms of door finishing all comes onto Craig's bench, because Craig puts all the little final details on and gets it ready to go out the door. And then going over to Richard's bench, which is right at the end of the factory. So this door here, we have all the stuff going out, so goods out, coming in, any new customers coming in as well, or delivery people, they all come in at Richard's bench. So when Mike's not here, Richard basically controls the factory, looks after everyone. But on here he does everything bespoke. As you can see, all the stairs are all stacked up there, which is just done, and they're ready to go out tomorrow. And then he also helps with in terms of technical side of things. So if the lads have got an issue, they come to Richard like they're doing now with Max, and I'll try and get things fixed, and then go back on the bench to carry on with the assembly. If Richard's got no other bespoke work to do, like bifold doors, stairs, any one-offs, He'll then jump in and help the lads on the assembly side, or help Craig on the finishing side. So he basically looks after all of this end for everything. On the machining side and there, it's Mike and Devo. Mike sort of oversees that there, and he looks after everything coming down, making sure it's right. So the whole part of the factory is very important in terms of where it comes in, what everyone does, and how it comes down to the very end. Each person has got a part to play, and if someone's made a little mistake, it gets picked up on by the next person, and that's why there's always a little bit of bickering going on, and cross-checking of measurements and who done what and who did this, because all the lads have been trained by Mike over the years to make sure it's perfect when it comes out the door, and it needs to be, especially when you're doing timber. So up to now, the factory runs like a well-oiled machine, but we want to try and grow it. We have all the important machines in there, but let's not forget we've got a few other important machines down here. So we've got smaller bandsaws, 2 of them, that the lads bounce between, cutting little bits of beading and stuff like that, so they're not sharing Devo's bandsaw up there. We've got chop saws, and we've got sanders, nail guns, all of the small power tools that are needed to finish off in this middle bench here, which is just like a dump at the moment. We've got all the bins stored there, which we're looking to sort of paint the grey colour that all the lads wear on the jumpers. We've got these guillotines, and these are used for cutting the beads when we're glazing up. There's one in the middle, one on the end, one there, and the lads again work between using them when they're glazing all the sash windows and doors and stuff like that up. And as I say, dotted around the factory, we've got a load of toys, I call them. It's all the small power tools. We've actually recently invested in some nice little nail guns as well, which I'll show you now. 2 trusty bits of kit. Nice 7-fix D-Watt nail gun, which you can't beat. And we've recently just bought these as well, which are small little pin nails, 23 gauge pin nails they are. And these are perfect for doing any bit glazing beads. Because the pins are too big on there, on this one, they're nice and small. And you can't really see them, dead easy to touch up if you're doing spray jobs, but much easier for the lads to fire in and work with. At first when we used these, we were so impressed by them, everyone was made up, and then since it's become an everyday tool that they use. So thank you for watching to the end of our little factory tour there of our company, which does bespoke windows and doors. So for those of you who've watched us when we were on the Heavy Trade channel, and you've come over and you're now watching us on our own channel, thank you for doing that. And if you're not liking and subscribing, then please do that for me. I've never asked that before, the first time I've ever asked that question, but please do that for me. But as I say, we're going to try and bring more and more to you now about what goes on in the factory. Me and Niall are going to work as hard as we can to try and showcase as much as possible. We've invested in some GoPros, other bits of camera stuff. We've got the lads to get straps to put the cameras there so we can get some POV shots of the lads in action. I want to get them to record as much as we can, so that when me and Niall film and Niall edits, we can try and showcase a lot more and show you the full story of what's happening in terms of a door coming through getting made, windows getting made and stuff like that. I'm going to try and teach it along the way, try and give you some information that you might want to know yourself, or if you want to do bits of joinery yourself and you're looking to how we do it, I want to try and show you everything. And I want to show all what goes on. Like, there's a lot that's going to happen this year. All the vans are all getting new signage, all new signs on the factory. Inside we're going to do a few more improvements, and as I say, you've just gone through there and you've looked at all them factory machines that we use to make our products that we do today. And as I say, we are a traditional bespoke joinery factory, and we make and manufacture anything that comes in the door. We can do anything, and it's all done with the lads in there with their hands. Some people want that feel now, they want that touch, and they want their products to have been made, especially the windows and the doors, to have been made by someone's actual hands rather than going through a CNC machine and being done on a machine. They want the person to do it physically right the way through the full process. So as I say, we've showed you a little update there about what goes on day to day and how the lads use different machines. And yeah, I hope you liked it. So if you do, come back every single Saturday, because we're going to be posting a video every Saturday for Preferred. In between, we might do a couple of other little extras, POV shots, stuff like that. I don't know yet. We're going to try and learn. So me and Niall are going to work as hard as possible, as I say, to bring the best we can. So yeah, I hope you liked the video, and I hope you stay to the end. And again, I hope you like and subscribe. Thank you. One safe that way, innit?